Hello and welcome to another episode of Game Vortex. I'm Vitali, and first of all I'd like to apologize for being a little bit late with my content. It's just been a lot of time spent on work these days, but now my schedule is cleared so I can continue with it. So over the last couple of episodes we talked a lot about new hardware, unannounced hardware such as PlayStation Neo, 4.5, 4K, whatever you want to call it, and of course the Nintendo NX. As you would naturally expect, there must have been something that we missed, and that is Microsoft with their Xbox, and now the rumor mill is in a full swing. So we have a lot of new details. The E3 is just around the corner. It's less than 2 weeks away already, so I'm very excited for that. We're gonna hear a lot of new announcements, lots of new games. Most importantly, obviously Microsoft didn't want to get left behind when everybody else is upgrading their consoles. They probably had this thing planned for a while. Now, we have sources basically saying that the Microsoft is going to launch 2 new Xboxes, with one launching this year and the second one launching next year. And they are quite different machines. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, you remember the bumpy launch of the Microsoft's Xbox One when they screwed up their messaging and nobody wanted to believe them. They tried to focus too much on the TV, media, and so on. There was a Kinect that nobody really wanted, a higher price of the console. They backtracked on all of their announcements. They released a console without Kinect, so on and so forth. And in general, the PS4's been outselling them in retail almost 2-1. Right now, the PS4 officially stands at 40 million, with the Microsoft not announcing that numbers since the day one. So I guess it's somewhere around 20 million, as according to the EA financial call, they said there's approximately 20 million Xboxes out right now. So this is the main reason I think why Microsoft wants to get an upper hand here, because it needs to catch up first of all and maybe even beat the PlayStation 4 to the game next year. Well, the first thing that's been leaked is that the Microsoft is going to announce the smaller redesigned Xbox One. And from my sources and my perception of this is, we all know that the Microsoft's Xbox One looks really fucking ugly. It looks like a Betamax from 1989. Really huge console with a power brick. So the slimmer version, I think what they'll do, because they want to reduce the price even further, they just dropped the price today to $299 if I'm not mistaken for Xbox One. So that's already a great price. The redesigned version I think will just get rid of all the TV functionality. There will be just one HDMI out, not in. They'll dump the whole TV functionality because Phil Spencer is doing a great job of turning the Xbox division back into gaming rather than multimedia consumption device. Also, according to his announcement, that they want to basically create this unique system that you can transfer your games and they will go with you on any platform, because they want to have this unified system, the Project Helios they're calling it. So basically it's going to be a Windows 10 on all the machines, and whatever you buy games you can play on any system that you want. So basically it's going to be more and more close to being a PC, sort of like. So if you buy a game Windows, you can play it on your Xbox One. Even if another Xbox comes out later in the future, you can still play the same game. So basically it's gonna be like a PC, but still it's like a Steam machine sort of, but done properly. Also, the rumor has it that this Xbox, the smaller one, will come with 2 terabytes of hard drive, which is great because the hard drives in Xbox are not replaceable. I mean, they are, but it's very difficult to do it yourself and you will void your warranty. It's not like the PS4 where you just pop the lid off and take one screw off, slide it out and in, and you're done. So 2 terabytes is definitely a welcome addition. And then we go to something else, completely something else. Now the PS4.5 Neo, we all know that it's going to be more powerful. According to the sources, the PlayStation 4, the original one, the computational power that it has is 1.84 teraflops. And according to so far leaked information, the new PS4 Neo will be somewhere around 3 teraflops, 2.64, something like that. Basically somewhere closer to 3, which is not really a big deal, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a massive upgrade. Well, next year, apparently in 2017, there is a new Xbox coming, which is codenamed Scorpio for now. And it seems like they put some serious shit inside that machine to make sure that they will never lose out this game again with PlayStation, because originally PlayStation 4 is more powerful on both the CPU side and the GPU side and the RAM than the Xbox One original one. While the Project Scorpio apparently will have somewhere around 6 teraflops computational power. So that basically means it's going to be twice as powerful as the PlayStation 4.5. And if everything is to be believed, I think Sony should be actually worried, or maybe they should actually scrap the PS4.5 and wait another year and then deliver a proper PlayStation 4.5, which is going to match the Xbox in power. Otherwise, there's going to be a big parity in graphics, and a lot of developers probably just going to jump to an Xbox if they have big ambitions. Why the Microsoft is doing that is obviously because of the sales, I think, and because Phil Spencer said that they want Xbox to be more like a PC, probably a hybrid or sort, like you can upgrade it yourself, but I don't think that the Project Scorpio will be upgradable. It remains to be seen. Now, a lot of people say that this is going to be Xbox One 2.0, but the more I start to think about it, it seems like this might be the next Xbox, the Xbox 2 or whatever they're gonna call it. I don't think that it's gonna be an Xbox One 2.0 because it's too confusing with the names. Second thing, seems to be a huge power bump, 3 times more powerful than an Xbox One, probably even more. So that just doesn't seem like it's going to be just an upgrade, because now we seems to be entering this unfortunate era where the consoles that you buy are not going to be lasting 10 years unless you really, really want to. They're most likely going to be upgrades. Every 2-3 years you're going to release a new console. I think the days and the era of PlayStation 4, 5, 6 arriving like 7-6 years apart, I think that's pretty much over. I think Microsoft and Sony both are going to be working this way. If it's going to be successful, that remains to be seen, to be honest. It all depends on how much it will cost. Now, thinking about the price, people say it will probably go around $500, and I think that's going to be true. I think it's going to be that the Scorpio, an Xbox 2 or whatever they want to call it, is going to be $500 to $600. Now, why do I think that? It's because if they say it's got about 6 teraflops of computational power, that puts it on par with GeForce 1070. Not the 1080 that it's the proper version. The 1070 one is the cheaper version that cost about $379, and that got about 6 teraflops of computational power. So imagine that this is going to be $350 or $300. Then you have other components, main boards, and so on and so forth. I think it's going to be around at least $500, maybe even $600, but it won't come with Kinect. I don't think Microsoft will do another mistake like that. They've done a beta test with 360 that completely failed. The Xbox One lost big time because of inclusion of a camera that nobody really wanted, because the games were fucking crap most of the time, and it's just a gimmicky feature. Yes, the voice control is great, but then people just kind of forget about it, and they just want to play games traditionally on their sofa using the controller. That seems to be that the price is going to be around $500-$600 at least. Now, another reason for that, of course, being that it's going to support Oculus Rift. Now, this is a smart move on Microsoft's part, because they have a partnership with Oculus already, where they provide the controllers for every Oculus Rift that is coming right now. When you buy an Oculus Rift, you get an Xbox One controller with it. So I think they're going to take this partnership on the next level, because Sony already has its own VR solution, the PlayStation VR, which is launching this autumn. And Microsoft doesn't really have anything apart from HoloLens, but that's not compatible with Xbox One in any case. It's not really a gaming device. So what I think they'll do, they'll partner up on Oculus Rift, and the Xbox Scorpio or 2, whatever they're gonna call it, is gonna support Oculus Rift right out of the box, because the specs for the Oculus Rift, you know that yourself. You need a GeForce 970, a good CPU, and lots of RAM, 8 gigs of RAM. So I think that's going to be the case. And I think it's a smart move on Microsoft's part, because first, they won't have to make their own VR solution, invest billions of dollars into R&D and production and everything like that, though they won't have a control of that platform. But still, it's going to be great, because Oculus Rift already works great on the Windows, right? The games that they're coming out for the Rift, they are available on Windows. So if you buy them on Windows with this Project Helios, you'll be able to access it on your Xbox. You just plug in your Oculus Rift, and there you go, and you're playing. And to be honest, an Oculus Rift is a better solution than PlayStation VR, because it's got a higher resolution on the screen. screens. So I think that's going to be a great part on Microsoft to partner up with them. Plus they have some kind of a connection with the Facebook as well, which owns Oculus Rift. I remember reading about that they actually own some kind of a stake at the Facebook. That's why they were able to integrate Bing search and Bing translation into the Facebook. So that's about it that we have on these consoles, especially Xbox One. I'm very excited because Microsoft needs to turn the page as well, just as Nintendo does, because they're not really doing perfectly great. I mean, they're doing good, they're doing better than an Xbox 360 did at this time, but they're getting trounced by the PlayStation at the moment. And Sony needs to be really careful because, as it happened before in the past with the PlayStation 2, they sold 150 million consoles and they were just over the moon. They became so arrogant that they just let the guard down and released a console at $600. They said you can basically get a second job to buy, and it just crashed, and it took them years and years and years to catch up on Xbox One and even the playing field. So they need to be very careful and they need to anticipate Microsoft's moves as well. But regardless of what's gonna be, it's gonna be better for the consumers to have more choice. The more companies, the more consoles we have on the market, then the better it's for the consumers. How the consumers will respond to that, it remains to be seen, because people are still not used to the fact that they need to buy or upgrade their consoles every 2 or 3 years. People still expect their console to last at least 6-7 years before they have to upgrade. Even then, that's a choice that they have to make. Now everybody feels that they're getting an inferior hardware with lower specs, or if they supported the company on their launch, now they're getting pretty much a middle finger in their face saying like, okay, there's going to be a more powerful machine, it will play games better, they will look better. So it's like essentially you're playing PlayStation 3 games on a PlayStation 4, the HD remasters. This is the kind of a situation that we're getting into. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Please leave the comments on this video. I want to know your opinion on what do you think about an Xbox One Slim and also an Xbox Scorpio. I don't think they're gonna announce them during the C3, otherwise they pretty much kill their Xbox One sales at the moment, because nobody will want to buy one. Everybody will wait for a new console. Are you planning on buying one? Are you excited about the announcement? What do you think it's gonna be? Are you happy about the unified platform that you can play games whenever you go? Please leave the comments, subscribe to the channel if you like it, click the like button, I'll very appreciate that. And thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next episode of Game Vortex.